Hello students. Children, in this video I am going to explain about metals and non-metals. What we are going to see, children? We are going to see metals and non-metals of class 8th 4th chapter. Okay? So children, you know pure substances are divided into two types. Like one type is called as element and the other type is said to be compounds. Okay? One category is known as what? Element, and the other category is called as what? Compounds. Yes? So how do we define an element? So element is a substance which is made up of only one kind of atom. Okay? Only one kind of atom is an element. Okay? So how do we define compound? Compound is a substance that is formed when two or more elements join together chemically. Okay? So that is said to be what? Compound. So this particular elements are further categorized as metals and non-metals. And we have one more category, children, called as metalloids. Okay? So, but in our chapter, we will learn about only metals and non-metals, where metalloids will be discussed in the higher sessions. Okay? So, let's start. So, I have one question for you, children. So, if you see different types of materials around you, yes or no? So, we say they are made up of different things. Yes? Like we say, this particular chain is made up of gold. Yes or no? So plants produce oxygen. Yes? In the same manner, we have a pencil lid. Yes or no? A pencil lead we have. Yes or no? So that pencil lead is made up of graphite. Immediately we say it is made up of graphite. Yes or no? So all these types of graphite or oxygen or gold will come under the category of elements called as either metals or non-metals. Okay? So, in this chapter, we will learn about the physical and chemical properties of both metals and non-metals. Okay? So, first in this video, I am going to discuss about the physical properties of both metals and non-metals. Okay? So first coming to metals. So how do you define a metal, children? Metal is a material that is typically hard, opaque, shiny and has good electrical and thermal conductivity. Okay? And metals are generally malleable. That is, they can be hammered to convert into thin sheets. Okay? In the same manner, metals are ductile, means they can be converted into thin wires. So all these properties are used to define a metal. Okay? Understood, children? So first we will start about the physical properties of metals. The physical properties of metals. Okay? So first physical property of metal is lustrous property. Lustrous property. So if you take metals, okay, generally they are lustrous in nature. Do you know the meaning of lustrous or luster, children? That is, they glitter or shine. Okay? Metals generally glitter or shine. So that is said to be what? Lustrous property. Okay? So tell me few examples of the metals which will shine. Yes, gold, silver, copper, etc. Good. Okay. Now we will see the second property of metals. That is ductility nature. Okay. So what is ductility? It is a property of metals where the metals can be drawn into thin wires. Okay. So metals can be drawn into what? Thin wires. That is called as what? Ductile nature of metals. Example, gold, iron, aluminium, etc. Okay children. Next property is density property children. Next one is what? Density property of metals. Okay. So generally metals have high density. Metals have high density. Why do they have high density children? Density means more weight. Okay. So why do metals are more denser? Why? Because okay, they are hard. Yes or no? Hard means they are solids in nature. Yes. So solids have very little empty spaces between them. They don't have the spaces between them. Yes or no? So obviously they will be lot of weight. Solids will be somewhat weight. Okay. So hence metal being a solid, they are more high denser. Okay children. Now we will see the next property called as conductor of heat and electricity. That is, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. That is, they can accept the heat as well as they conduct electricity very easily. Like example again, iron, copper, aluminium, yes or no? Okay, even gold, silver. So due to heat and electricity only, these particular metals can be malleable or they can be ductile. Yes or no? Okay. Now coming to the next property. What is the next property? Sonorous property. What is the next property children? Sonorous property. Sonorous means sound producing. Sonorous means what? Sound producing. So metals, when they are stuck with another metal, if suppose we take one metal and when we hit it with another metal, they produce some ringing sound. Okay, so based on this property only we have different types of bells. Okay, like electric bell we have, the spring of guitar we have. Yes or no? Okay, understood children? So that is called as what? Sonorous property of metals. Then next one is hardness and softness. Okay, so hardness and softness means few metals are hard in nature. Maximum all the metals are hard in nature. Okay, like iron, copper, gold, aluminium, okay, etc. In the same manner, we have one exception about the hardness. That is, few metals are soft. That is, they can be easily cut with knife. Okay, like example, sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium. Do you understand? Okay, next coming to the malleable property, that is malleability property of metals. Okay, so as I said, metals are malleable, that is they can be drawn into thin sheets. Okay, they can be hammered into what? Thin sheets. Okay, like for example, you might have observed that aluminium foil is very thin like a sheet, so which is used for packing the food materials, right? Okay, so in the same manner, iron can be converted into thin sheets. Copper can be converted into thin sheets. Okay, even gold, silver, okay, according to which they can produce different variety of articles. Okay children, now coming to the melting and boiling point of metals. Okay, so these metals have high melting point and high boiling point. Metals have high melting as well as high boiling point. Okay, like again example, iron, copper, aluminium, etc. Okay, next coming to physical properties of non-metals. Coming to physical properties of non-metals. So before going to the physical properties of non-metals, how do we define non-metal children? We define a non-metal like, okay, a non-metal is a non-lustrous, non-sonorous, non-malleable and non-ductile element. Yes or no? Okay, so let's see the physical properties of non-metals. The first property is malleability property. As non-metals are, okay, brittle in nature, they will break off very easily. Brittle means what? They break off very easily. Hence, they cannot be converted into thin sheets. Example, sulfur, phosphorus, etc. Okay. Next property is ductility property. Okay, again due to the brittle nature only, the non-metals cannot be drawn even into thin wires. Okay, so example silicon, boron, etc. Okay, then coming to sonorous property. So as non-metals have dull surface, okay, they cannot produce any ringing sound, very less sound. If we hit with each other, they won't produce any sound. Okay, they are non-sonorous in nature. Example bromine, chlorine, etc. Okay, then coming to density property. Okay, so density means non-metals are less in weight, they are low denser. Okay, like for example hydrogen. Understood, children? Next, coming to the metals, melting point and boiling point of non-metals. Okay, so non-metals have low melting and boiling points, like for example bromine, fluorine, etc. Next, coming to the hardness and softness nature. So generally non-metals are soft in nature, like for example carbon, phosphorus, etc. Okay, coming to conductor of heat and electricity. So non-metals are generally bad conductors of heat and electricity, that is they won't allow the heat or electricity to pass through them. Okay, like example again iodine, boron, etc. Okay, children? So in next video I will tell you about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Okay, children? Thank you.